Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to break down the latest teaser images that we got for episode 5 of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon season 2. There's actually a lot here that teases what happens in the episode. So yeah, I do want to break down all of that here, and then I will be doing my Q&A video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I also will be doing a, I guess, ratings video, because I'm just kind of interested in what the ratings are going to be for the next episode, because episode 3 obviously picked up quite a bit. It was the most viewed of the season, so I want to see how that picks up, I guess, for episode 4, and then where things could go for episode 5 based off of everything that happened here in episode 4. And yeah, because I'm kind of interested in just where the ratings are going to go for the show, if they're going to pick up, you know, every single episode, or just a lot to talk about. And so yeah, let's actually get into some of the images here. So the first shot here is of Carol, and we do see her by the plane here, and it looks like there will be moments, or certain moments that happen in this episode. Like, for one, it looks like they are going back to the rooftop where Falu's community was, so they're going to be going back to that in this episode. And then I think that they're going to go back to seeing Ash, obviously, and I guess get the plane, or probably not use the plane yet, obviously, but at least go and see Ash. And then I think Daryl probably will get his crossbow, which is going to be a really cool moment in the episode. And besides that, they're going to save Ash, obviously. And besides that, we know that Lo Sang is going to eventually end up at the rooftop, and so I don't know if a battle's going to happen there or what happens in the episode. But yeah, so it looks like in this shot here we do see Carol, and obviously she's with the plane here. So I do wonder if she's told Ash about her lie. I mean, something's going to come up, because she's coming back with Daryl, and we know Daryl is here for sure because of other shots that they actually released here. Like, there's this image right here released of Daryl, and you see the plane behind him. I mean, obviously we know Carol's here. Actually, we kind of see Carol in the back there, and so Ash is here as well. So unless Carol says something like, "Oh no, that's Ed," I mean, like, it's going to be pretty obvious that she lied, right? And that Sophia's not here. And so I wonder if that's what they do here for the story. Like, I wonder if Carol's just going to be like, yeah, that's Ed. Sophia died a long time ago. And I mean, Carol's going to have to tell Daryl, like, you're going to have to go along with the lie. Like, I wonder if she'll push it that much further. Is Ash ever going to find out, right? Like, I wonder if that's just going to be something that continues on here. Maybe it's still going to be a reveal in the very last episode here of the season, but I just think that, I mean, something's going to happen here, obviously, if she's coming back with Daryl. Sophia's not there, and yeah, I wonder how that encounter is going to go overall. But yeah, very cool to actually see them together here. And we actually do have another shot here of Carol, and it looks like, I mean, at this point here, she's taken off her jacket. And so to me, what that tells me is that they're staying here for quite some time. Like, it's not going to be something where they just sort of show up and then immediately have to run away or something, right? Like, it looks like maybe they spend the night there, or maybe they're, you know, trying to work on fixing the plane, or something like that. But we do have a shot here of Ash, and it's hard to say whether or not he knows at this point about, you know, Sophia. He looks like he's kind of concerned, or he's sort of stressed out, or he's thinking about something. So maybe Carol's already told him at this point. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, and then we have this other shot here of Daryl and Carol just outside, and I believe that's where they went actually originally. So we have this one right here, Daryl and Carol outside here walking, I guess, through this field, and then we have this other shot here where you see them basically, I think it's just further up a little bit, and I think it's a stadium that they're walking through. And so I don't remember if that's exactly where Ash put the plane or not, because I know they landed somewhere, but I don't remember if it was like near a stadium, and so they just sort of hid the plane somewhere there. But still a very cool shot here. And honestly, this almost seems like a scene where Carol's just like telling Daryl, like, okay, so you're gonna have to pretend you're Ed. I told Ash that I came here for Sophia, and so you're gonna have to say these things, and that's it. So honestly, I really wonder what Daryl's reaction is going to be, because even if it's not that, like, he is going to have to react to the fact that literally Carol lied about that. Like, Carol did lie about Sophia's death, right? Like, that's still such a crazy thing to do. So I mean, to see Daryl's reaction, I wonder if it'll be like a lot of our reaction to that moment, right? But yeah, we see Daryl and Carol here, and this is where it's kind of hard to figure out, you know, I guess, the pacing overall of the episode and exactly what's happening here. And so, I mean, obviously in the very beginning, like, I think they'll save Ash because they're sort of like on the run right now from the nest and everything, right? So I think they're eventually going to save Ash from that vehicle, and then at that point, I guess, go towards the plane, or do they leave at that point? That's why I think the episode's basically going to play out like, you know, they go save Ash from the vehicle, they go to the plane or something, and maybe it's not ready yet. You know, I'm assuming that they're not going to be able to leave yet, or probably that, you know, they're going to need Laurent. And so I don't know why they go there originally. Maybe they think that Laurent went there, or maybe they're just going to walk back there with Ash or something like that. But I think that's how all that's going to go. And then I think afterwards they're going to go check out, I guess, the rooftop, right? Like the community where, or Falou's community, to see if Laurent is there. And I think that, yeah, he is going to be there. And so I think it will be pretty simple. He'll just literally be there. I think a lot of the episode will take place there because we have this one shot of Daryl and Carol. And again, I mentioned it before. I was like, it really looks like they're on a rooftop because of how bright things are. And it doesn't look like there's a lot around them. And I totally forgot that Falou's community was on top of a roof, like literally on top of a building. So yeah, really cool to actually see this here. And so, I mean, we have this one shot here of Carol reacting to the community just in general. So I think that that's really cool. Honestly, I really wonder what she's going to think from her perspective in terms of how the whole place operates and whatnot. I don't know if they're going to get into some more specifics there. We have this one shot of Carol, and she does look really impressed. Like, honestly, she's looking around like, wow, this is a really awesome place. And we obviously see Daryl here, and he's thinking about some stuff, and, you know, he's probably thinking about Isabel and just like what happened, and you know, probably Laurent and like, where is he? You know, does he go back to America now? I mean, obviously Daryl wanted to go back to America, but I just think that the fact that Isabel is gone now, does he take Laurent with him? That's likely what he's thinking about. But at the end of episode 4, he did also say that, you know, Laurent's going to have to go with them. But yeah, I just think that in terms of Daryl, because there was some mention in episode 4 about responsibility and all that Daryl didn't really seem to want. And so I don't know how he feels about it now. You know, they didn't really clarify that towards the end of the episode, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, another shot here of Carol just looking around the community here. And I just really like the fact that this really does look like they're on a rooftop. I mean, what's crazy about it is that they probably just have like really insane lighting here in the scene, like a lot of camera lights or spotlights just basically everywhere to make it look like they're on a rooftop, because it does really look like it. But yeah, then we have this one shot here of Daryl in a vehicle, and I think that this is going to happen earlier on when they're all trapped from the Varian walkers and, yeah, trying to get away. But then we see this one shot here of Daryl, Falou. I'm not sure who the character is in the back, but then we have Carol here. And I think that this is probably like the latest shot to happen here out of all the teaser images that were released. Like, this is going to happen later in the episode. And so at this point here, they're likely planning on what to do next with Laurent. You know, are they just going to leave? Because essentially, like, if they are here, and that's kind of the interesting thing about the overall storyline here is, like, where are they going right now? Daryl and Carol want to go back to America. So they want to find Laurent, go back to the plane, and then basically just leave, right? Like, that would be their plan overall. Like, Daryl and Carol are going to leave with Laurent and Ash back to America. So I wonder if here, you know, like, would Falou be a villain in any way where he tries to stop that? I don't think so. I really don't. I think that at this point, when the community believed that Laurent was actually the cure, I think that that was likely something that probably like could have happened at that point. But I think at this point here, Falou is just like, you know what? I think we just need to do what's best for Laurent right now. And yeah, I think everyone here believes that, you know, he's the cure and a lot of really horrible things are going to happen to him here. So yeah, he has to get out of France. And so I don't know how they go to Spain. I don't know how that's going to come up here, but that seems like the next part of the story here. So I'm just trying to make the connection here. And I think that it's going to be something that is just kind of revealed, and it's going to be very simple. Like, well, in order to get to America, you have to go to Spain, right? Or again, it really depends, because if Ash leaves, what if Ash just leaves? And like, that's one thing too, I was just thinking about, like, in terms of what's happening in season 3, I don't even know what's going on, like in terms of filming and all of that, because I mean, I haven't been following it at all, but I don't know of any of the cast from season 2 that's going to be in season 3. There hasn't been any reveal of that at all. There's just been Daryl and Carol. So like, what if Ash leaves with Laurent back to America? And that's where the story ends, because otherwise I feel like that would be announced for season 3. So honestly, it's really hard to say, because I mean, at that point, you're just sort of saying goodbye to Ash and Laurent at that point, though I don't think you probably would be. That would be a crazy way to end that storyline, for them to just like leave and then I guess they're just gone off the show. Like, what? No, I don't think that would happen. And so I think that if anything, maybe the plane maybe gets destroyed or something, and so they can't go back to America. I mean, maybe Ash dies in the finale or something. I don't know. But somehow there's going to be a connection here in terms of how they get to, I guess, Spain. And so I'm curious about that, because I know that in the trailer, in the general trailer where you do see the bioluminescent walkers, like, we haven't even seen that yet. And that confirms, I think, now that it's probably going to happen in the finale. I'm pretty sure Laurent is there. So maybe they have to go through that place or whatever in order to actually, you know, get to the plane or get to Spain or get to something that will take them, I guess, away from France. I feel like this is where the overall story is going. And it's so hard to predict at this point, it really is, but at least we know where the story is right now, right? Daryl and Carol are trying to find Laurent so they can leave and go back to America. So that's what we know. We'll see what happens. We know they're going to Spain in season 3, and so something obviously stops them from going there. And we'll just have to see what happens here, right? There's probably going to be something that happens here in the next 2 episodes. It's just what, right? So yeah, I'm really excited to see how all this is going to close out here, because it's sort of ending this storyline and then starting something new. You know, I feel like my thoughts on the Pouvoir storyline overall, well, I'll save my thoughts. I'll give my thoughts once I actually get to, you know, watching the very last episode, and then I'll talk about the arc overall, and yeah, really talk about that more in depth, because I have a lot to say about that, and I'm excited for season 3 because of some of the casting and some of what they've teased for season 3, and I think that they can definitely do a lot of things better, but I do have some thoughts on season 2 so far, but I'll save it for after I watch the entirety of season 2, but definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and yeah, let me know where you see the season going, and I'll see you in the next one.